Over to Boyd. He'll touch it for the first time tonight. Boyd, the grad transfer from Lipscomb. He'll drive, reverse layup, hit off the top of the backboard, almost went in, but doesn't fall, and the rebound falls into the hands of Emery.
You know, wish he would have been a little bit more in attack mode, sort of threw it up there and hoped for it. That's not what the kind of shot you want to take when you play at his level.
Top of the key is no good as that one off to the right. The air ball will give it back to Charleston.
Well, just let you know, when you're 6'8", 240, you come off a down screen and let that thing go, you have the ultimate green light. So if you're Ante or Djokovic and you're lined up with him, you got to get a hand on him early.
So a transfer from Memphis. Doing a great job for Martin Inglesby as he's the leading scorer. Dump down into Brzovic. Drive to the paint right at the rim. Shots up, it's no good, but he's fouled, and Ante Brzovic will now head to the free throw line. Looks like that foul's going to go on Macon Emery.
Well, that's where Ante has become a more cerebral player. He's able to check off the double team, find it, and then attack it that time. That time he didn't wait for it. He attacked the double team before it got there. They were late, able to get to the charity stripe and shoot two.
Brzovic, the CAA preseason player of the year, shooting 67% from the free throw line. Ante, 18 points, 8 rebounds a game. Ante, one of the only 2 players in the country, as the first one rattles in, Danny, to score 500 points this season, grab 200 rebounds, and also dish out 70-plus assists.
You think that qualifies him as pretty good?
I'd say that's a pretty good year for sure.
Absolutely. He does everything, but he's the leader of this team, so a lot is expected and a lot is delivered from him, and he's going to continue to do that.
So Brzovic misses the second. Cougars press out of the miss. As almost a 10-second call. As the Blue Hens break it with 1 second to spare. There's Lane above the three-point line between the circles. Over to Camden. Back over to Caven Riley. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Riley goes left. Throw back right. Pasha. He'll drive into the paint. Forces the shot up with the right hand, and it's good. Isaiah Pasha. This young man, Danny, has been named the Rookie of the Week in the conference 6 times this year. As Fulton with the drive and the finish. As he gets it to fall, makes it 8-5. Safe to say, I think, Danny, he's going to be probably the Rookie of the Year in the CAA.
Yeah, I think you win enough weeks. I don't think there's anybody that probably has anywhere close to that amount of awards on a weekly basis. But you just got a full dose of C.J. Fulton, just actually put him in the pick and roll. Isaiah was a little late, able to get the layup.
Riley launches the three-pointer, no good. Ante Brzovic grabs the rebound. Charleston in the front court. Boyd thought about the three. He'll pass over to Fulton instead. As Fulton works around the screen. Ball knocked out of his hands, goes straight over to Tavares. They're working around to Djokovic. Djokovic drives to the basket. Shot up, no. Ball knocked out of his hands and stolen by the Blue Hens. Good defense by Delaware's Lane. Drives, throws a shot. Shot blocked by Djokovic and right into the hands of CJ. Cougars off and running as Fulton in the front court. He leaves it off for Djokovic. Djokovic down the lane. Shot out with the right hand, and it's good. He thought he was fouled. But good start there for Lazar Djokovic as the Cougars down by 1. 16 minutes left to play here in the first half.
It's very apparent early that Djokovic is looking to be aggressive in this game. That should help Brzovic and some of his opportunities as long as his other big plays well.
Emery three, top of the key, no good. Ball batted out, goes out of bounds off of Delaware. And when we come back, it'll be Charleston's basketball. 15:44 left to play here in the first half, and the Blue Hens with the early 8-7 lead. This is College of Charleston basketball on the Charleston Sports Network.
Return to the field. Score the winning shot. Beat your personal record. Team up with MUSC Health Sports Medicine for all your sports-related injury care and rehabilitation. MUSC Health is the official sports medicine provider for your favorite local teams. From semi-pro athletes to weekend warriors, our sports medicine team provides state-of-the-art injury prevention, treatment, surgery, and rehabilitation for athletes of all ages. Go where the pros go. Schedule an appointment today.
At TD Bank, we see millions of transactions, but it's the humans behind them that matter most. It's why we're leaders, with guidance and solutions that put people at the center. That's how every TD employee helps make our bank the greet you and your dog by your name, open longer when you need us kind of place. Because believing people matter most is how we're making banking unexpectedly human.
1, 2, 3, get up. Here we go, fellas. Let's do what we do best. Play hard, play for each other, and just win. Win, 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 win. We all know it. Passion fuels success. All day, every day. To build your winning team right here, right now, call the Pepper Law Firm today.
It is not just a fragrance. It is a passion.
This is Pocket Full Sam. Hey, I think I'm in the wrong commercial.
Wait, aren't you Andre?
No, I'm Shane.
Oh, you're supposed to be in a Bud Light commercial.
Oh, that makes sense.
If you're here, Andre is...
Something is different about you, man.
Charleston up 8-7 over Delaware. Cougars lead the series 17-8. Charleston's won the last 4 meetings. Tell you what, Danny, this is the last time, unless we play the Blue Hens in the CAA tournament next week in Washington, D.C., as the Blue Hens making the move to Conference USA. Some great games between Charleston and Delaware. Sad to see this one. End.
Yeah, absolutely. 25 games is quite a history between two programs. You know, not a lot of times you see, teams like this that haven't been always aligned in the same conferences, but managed to play that many games. You're right. A lot of great battles between these two schools.
Cougars with the basketball. Boyd launches a 3 off the iron, no good. As Stonkus and A.J. Smith have checked into lineup. So A.J. Smith out of Charlotte Jr. 3-pointer the other way is no good. A.J. Smith grabs the rebound. A.J. in the middle of the floor, front court. A.J. spinning. Turn, picks up his dribble, dump down to Ante. Spin cycle, layup, good. The defender that time, Macon Emery, had no shot. Put him in the washing machine. Turn on the spin cycle. Ante Berzovic strikes. It's Berzovic now with 3 points. Back the other way, a 3-pointer is good as Caven Riley knocks in the 3. Riley shooting 35% from behind the 3-point line. That puts Delaware back on top, 11-9 as Boyd over to Tavares. Tavares in front of the Delaware bench, drives straight to the basket, layup is good. Kind of gave him the hezzy that time, Danny.
Yes, great timing, great change of direction and speed. He got the pick and roll, got the switch on the matchup, was able to take advantage of it by going to the hole.
Pasha goes right towards the sideline. He'll swing it around. Caven Riley, scoop layup at the basket's no good, but he's fouled, and the guilty party will be Eustace Stonkus, who's checked into the lineup for Chris Mack. Stonkus, a very promising freshman, 6'6" Lithuanian.
You know, that play right there kind of exemplifies some of the things he needs to work on as far as on-ball defense as a perimeter defender. He has to prove in that category. He has to learn. He has to get in front of some of these good guards in the CAA. They really can drive the ball.
Trent Middleton Jr. and Eric Timko check into the lineup for Martin Inglesby. Riley made the first. Riley, an 85% free throw shooter. He makes both. 2-point lead for Delaware, 13-11. Little full court pressure being applied by the Blue Hens as Tavares pass it over to Boyd. Boyd in the front court. Stonkus turns down the 3 in the corner. The Cougars will set up their offense. 14-10 left to play in the first half. Charleston down 13-11. Ante above the 3-point line. Lets his teammate pass through over to Boyd. 7 seconds to shoot. Boyd on the left baseline. Gets to the middle of the floor. Spins back. Forces a shot up with the left hand. No good. Shot it over the rim. Rebound grabbed by Delaware. Good defense by the Blue Hens.
Yeah, absolutely. That was good on-ball defense. He almost read Boyd's mind that time and what he wanted to do.
Timko launches a 3-pointer. It's no good. Ante with the rebound. So Berzovic will bring it into the front court himself. Stonkus. Pass. Layup, good. Pocket pass from Stonkus, and the easy 2 for Berzovic. He's got 5, and we're tied at 13. Back the other way. Lane with the drive and the finish. As Charleston fell asleep on transition defense, Lane able to take advantage and puts Delaware back on top 15-13 with 13:20 left to play first half. Tavares lost the ball. Falls right into the hands of Delaware as John Camden has it. Over to Riley. Slide step 3 from the right wing is no good. Rebound grabbed by Charleston.
It's very apparent that the Blue Hens don't mind letting that three-pointer go. It almost seems like they want to get it up with 5 seconds left on the offensive end. Charleston has to be aware of that and run them off the line. Too many good looks so far.
Berzovic, ball above his head over to Boyd. Catch, fire, 3, bang! Darian Boyd with the 3 from the left wing and puts Charleston back on top. 16-15, 12:40 left to play here in the first half. Camden backing down Smith. Middleton working around. Drive by Lane. Pass in the corner. That's Caven Riley spinning, turning. He'll force his shot out with the right hand. It's no good. Berzovic taps it out, but he's fouled before the play could start. It looks like that foul's going to go against Trent Middleton Jr., I believe. It is indeed. That'll be his first. So substitutions for the Cougars as Elijah Jones makes his first appearance this afternoon. Boy, you talk about a burst of energy the last 4 games. Elijah Jones has been an absolute energizer bunny for Chris Mack.
Well, that's his role. He found his niche with this. But as a young player, you want to just find a way to get on the floor. Sometimes that's through hustle, and that's what Elijah Jones has done.
Djokovic at the rim, and he rocks the rim with a 2-hand slam. Nice drive and a kick from C.J. Fulton. Djokovic with the finish, and Charleston up by 3, 18-15. As Kevin Kogbara checks in for the Blue Hens. Lanes lobs it ahead for Kabaga, and he can't get the tip in the fall. The rebound grab by Djokovic. Push ahead to Smith. Smith in the paint, lost the ball. Ball picked up, however, by Djokovic over to Fulton. Fulton hands it off for Stonkus. Eustace dribbles to the top of the key, throw back. Djokovic at the rim, and he lays it in. Right now, Danny, that pick and roll really working well. Movement for Charleston is what they do best.
Absolutely. Djokovic is the most athletic, one of the most athletic guys on the team, and he's also 6'10", so if he's able to get behind that defense, he's going to be able to finish pretty easily.
20-15, Charleston on top, 11-10 left to play. Back the other way, walk, no call. Yeah, they did find it. Finally called it. Didn't think they would blow the whistle, but they did. 11:09 left to play here in the first half, and Charleston on top of Delaware, 20-15. This is College of Charleston basketball on the Charleston Sports Network. all season long. Beautiful cistern there at the College of Charleston. A lot of many graduations take place.
Just getting started, the battle for Long Island Part 2 here in the North Shore. Stony Brook 10, Hofstra 9. Rob Pavanelli was just imparted some knowledge from our officials. Pav, what's going on?
Well, the foul is going to be upgraded to an F1 on Sunday. That means Stony Brook will get 2 shots in the basketball as we come out of the break.
You said on Sunday. I was like, who cares about Sunday? Last time out, we told
Silas Sunday.
Pride snapped their 6-game losing streak for their first win in the month of February. But they've won 10 in a row against Delaware. Nice way to say c'est la vie to the team they've played the most, 105 times. Delaware, of course, going off the Conference USA, so final time as conference adversaries in the regular season.
And that was a huge win for Hofstra. We mentioned they had lost 6 in a row, really played well. And this is a Hofstra team, Johnny, that had double-digit leads in 9 games this year, and they lost 4 of those. So this is a team certainly that could have, 3 or 4 more wins. And as I mentioned, a team that's going to be very dangerous in the playoffs. They can score the basketball. They have the winning tradition, very similar to what Stony Brook did last year. They had, their record was okay going into the tournament. They got hot at the right time and went all the way to the championship game. Hofstra trying to, hey, look what Stony Brook did last year. We certainly have the tools to do that.
Gino Ford said he wanted points to kind of come at a premium in this first half, would not mind if Stony Brook mucked it up. About 20 combined points in the first 8+ minutes.
It's going to be a lot harder for either of these teams to go all the way. Stony Brook was a 7th seed last year. Right now, these teams are projected to play in a playing game right now if the season finished today. I think in the 13th, 14th seed, somewhere along those lines.
Well, what's better than playing the cross-county rivals twice? It's playing them a 3rd time. It happened last year.
Yeah, and a
Stony
huge
Brook ousted
win.
them from the tournament.
Yeah, huge win for the Seawolves in the semifinals. I believe that's the 11-12 game. My apologies.
Rejection, Nick Woodard for just the 7th time this season. This, of course, happened after the 2 from C.J. Luster. He has 5 of the 13 for Stony Brook.
Stony Brook really getting it done on the defensive end. They are playing some outstanding defense. Hofstra right now only 4 for 12 from the floor. Got to give these Seawolves a lot of credit. Great game plan designed by Gino Ford and the crew.
Well, against 98% of conference opponents, that's probably a dunk for Ben White. Silas Sunday is the tallest player on Hofstra's roster since 2003. And a foul coming up here.
He had a 7-footer from Ireland, played at Our Savior Lutheran in the Bronx.
The tallest player on the Pride roster since, Pat, you want to give it a shot?
John Burke, local product. I've played many games against John Burke. His son was a heck of a player at Smithtown West. How's that, Johnny? How'd I do?
It's incorrect, but it's okay. Offensive rebound for the Pride. Reverses course to the corner. Catch and shoot 3. Katie can't get it down. Shooting struggles continue here. 1 of 9 from the land of not so good and plenty so far. The answer is Lars Grubler. He's the first 7-footer since John Burke.
I got you. All right, close enough though.
Nobody puts Pav in a corner.
There you go.
Nick Woodard put himself in the corner. Remains a 4-point lead for Stony Brook. We approach the midway marker of half number 1 here on Long Island. Stop and go Davis. Right back to the corner for DeCady. He travels baseline, reverse layup on go. Tracked down by CJ Luster. 4 for 16 on the Hofstra Pride. They've hit one of their last 10 shots. Step back 3. CJ cans it. Luster is luscious. From distance, it's the largest lead of the first half for Stony Brook.
You can't play better defense than Hofstra just played on CJ Luster. Pressure everywhere. Almost turned him over. And then Luster able to knock down a 3-ball. Stony Brook on a 6-0 run, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Hofstra. Stony Brook basketball. Let's take another look at this. Look at this good defense by Davis, and then the step back. Nothing but the bottom of the net for CJ Luster.
Well, everyone appears to have shooting struggles early in this penultimate game in the regular season. Luster 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from distance. That was his 214th three-point attempt this season, second in the Coastal to Abdi Bashir Jr. You think he's close, Pep?
No, he's not.
He's not.
Not even
Bashir's
close.
at 285.
Yeah, no. He likes to put it up a little bit.
Timer down to 9. Luster kicks out to Woodard. One more Snowdy. Straight on triple. Big fella can't hit it.
I thought Woodard could have gotten that loose ball. Got back on defense, bounced right in front of him, and Hofstra takes the opportunity and finishes at the basket.
Well, Gene Aranguren takes Ben White to work. 6 out of the 11 come courtesy of the redshirt senior from Woodbury, New Jersey. Born in Venezuela, started his collegiate career at Iona. Snowdy sizes up Plotnikov and gets the teardrop. Boy, it's been a different Andre Snowdy since the month of February. Told you, averaging 16 and 10 over the last 6 games.
He's really matured in his role. You know, the only returning player who's got a lot of minutes on the floor for Stony Brook, he along with Jared Fry. But I mean, Snowdy late in here in his career has been outstanding. At first, you got to adjust to your role. You know, last year you were a second or third or fourth or maybe fifth option, and now you become the 1 or 2 option. And it's tough to adjust to that role. Now, later on in the season, he has delivered game in and game out.
Well, after 2 more three-point misses, the Pride 1 of 11 from 3. CJ Luster, perfect from 3. Number 3 has a trio. Stony Brook has a double-digit lead.
You just can't guard that. Such a quick release, creates space. I mean, he's not crazy athletic, doesn't jump out of the gym, but just knows how to get a jump shot off and knows how to get that space.
Bruce Davis remains scoreless in this first half. 2 good signs for the Pride, the putback, and the fact that it was Michael Graham who left earlier in the first half with a bit of a lower body injury. They need him.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. Vital to the success of the Pride.
5th leading rejector in the conference, 4th leading border. Woodard draws the double from the big fella. Timer at 10, he finds Luster. CJ wiggles into the paint, no go. Stand-up defense by Graham.
Hofstra fortunate at that time. They left Luster open on the double team. Rotation came a little late.
Plotnikov can't put it home. Oh, an easy 2 from close quarters. Now 1 of 12 from distance.
Some end-to-end, a little sloppy right now by both teams.
Aranguren behind the back. He can finish with the left hand. Gene Aranguren shouldering the load in this first half for Speedy Claxton's group.
Oh, what a sensational move there by Aranguren. The little crossover behind the back took him all the way to the rack and finished.
8 points already for Aranguren, who had just 6 in 16 minutes in the win against Delaware. Quick response comes from Stony Brook freshman point guard Colin O'Connor. Oh boy, next year you feel like he'll probably be feeling like a junior or a senior. He's played nearly every minute in the last few weeks.
Well, he doesn't play like a freshman, John. He's so mature, knows how to play the game, son of a coach. I mean, he's a terrific basketball player who's just going to get better and better here at Stony Brook.
At one point in the conference season, Colin O'Connor played 6 consecutive games, all 40 minutes. Longest such streak in the conference since 2016. Wanye Green of Hofstra.
Well, no Toby Onyekon really has forced Gino Ford to play O'Connor so many minutes. Toby Onyekon, a point guard as well, really has been missed all season long by the Seawolves, but O'Connor has really filled in. You know, you expect to kind of ease a freshman into the rotation and let him develop. They just threw him in the deep end, and he has delivered.
8-point cushion for Gino Ford and company. You're watching Stony Brook basketball presented by Stony Brook Medicine.
I think one of the things that makes it different to work here as a nurse or a nursing assistant is the teamwork that is out there amongst the staff.
We work together with one mission in common, and that's to take care of our veterans and their families.
If this is my small way of helping them back, my career as a nurse is rewarded.
The opportunities here for professional growth, our health insurance, salaries can't be compared in any other facility.
I've been here 11 years. I think it speaks for itself.
Please consider working at the Long Island State Veterans Home because we do make a difference in people's lives each and every day.
Every patient has a story of strength and courage. We're inspired by these stories every day. Our award-winning team is not just treating cancer, we're nurturing dreams, supporting families, and building futures. New York Cancer and Blood Specialists has been recognized as #1 for most top doctors in cancer care by Castle Connolly. With locations across New York, exceptional care is always within reach, ensuring you don't have to travel far to receive the best. New York Cancer and Blood Specialists, conquering cancer close to home.
News 12 Long Island is here with you.
We're with you weekdays at 5 a.m.
Getting you ready to start your day.
Dangerous conditions out there. Leave extra time and check back for updates.
The results of our investigation, a new privacy protection bill.
Every night at 10, we update you with the top stories.
And get you ready for the day ahead.
Here with you live from Ronkonkoma.
8-point Stony Brook lead, 23-15. 5:15 remaining here in the first half. He's Rob Pavanelli. I'm Johnny Wincott. CJ Luster, who was the only Seawolf in double figures earlier this week against Hampton, is already into double figures here in the first half. 11 out of the 23 for SBU.
Yeah, 5 out of his last 9. He's at 20 points or plus, including a career-high 31 against North Carolina A&T, and he's well on his way to 20 tonight. 4 for 5 from the floor. A perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. 11 points for C.J. Luster. And our points early on said Stony Brook needed to get C.J. Luster open. I don't know if Stony Brook's gotten open. C.J. Luster has got himself open. Knocked down some tough shots.
Not many players have shot the ball well in this first half. C.J. Luster for Stony Brook. Gene-R and Gurin, who has 8 of the 15 for Hofstra. Pride as a team, 1 for 13 from distance.
And Stony Brook played predominantly zone in the first half in the victory earlier in the month. They have been exclusively man-to-man, and they have done a terrific job really shutting down this Hofstra attack.
Second turnover forced by the Stony Brook defense here in the opening half. So a chance to grow the lead back to double digits after Stony Brook never led in the game against Hampton. Hofstra, meanwhile, never trailed earlier in the week against Delaware. Snody rejected. And a jump ball that will stay with Stony Brook. It's the 15th block of the season by German Plotnikov.
Here's a beautiful defense we just talked about by Stony Brook. It was Luster to knock it away, and Phillip corrals it.
Luster triggers 4 on the timer, off the fingertips of Nahar. Gotta be quick. Luster, deep triple. He is no longer perfect tonight, Pat.
That's a tough shot. Nahar knew he had to get it back into Luster's hands, but that's a 30-footer with a lot of pressure.
Quick trigger. Plotnikov can't end the dry spell from 3, 1 of 14, and a little too physical. The 7-footer, Liad Nahar. who is not yet matched up against the opposing 7-footer, Silas Sunday. If you're wearing number 33 in this game, you're 7 feet tall.
It's not easy, for Nahar to get physical and box out against a stronger Graham. That's the part of his game that he's got to get better at. We know he can step outside, stretch the floor, knock it down. He's got to put on some strength, some body, get a little stronger for next season, because he is certainly a weapon offensively. That's another turnover there on Hofstra. Some more good defense by the Seawolves.
Good say. That's the 5th turnover in the first half by Hofstra. Make it 6 now. Up to the minute stats provided by our folks in the back end. Becca Garner, Nick Costi, touching all the right buttons this year. Our final broadcast of the season, Stony Brook going to national television Saturday against Elon.
Only 3 turnovers for the Seals. We talked about the 2 things that Stony Brook had to do: take care of the basketball and get Luster open, and they've done both here early on, and that has led to an 8-point lead.
So it looked to be an air ball by Sabri Phillip. I believe it's going to be 2 free throws when we return. Sabri Phillip had a career-high 8 points against the Pride 3 weeks ago. His team leads by 8, 3:50 remaining. You're watching Stony Brook basketball presented by Stony Brook Medicine. Prior to tonight's game, a moment of silence was held to honor the memory of Elijah Olani, former Seal. Elijah's strength, determination, and passion, both on and off the court, left a lasting mark on all who knew him. Our thoughts, of course, are with his family, friends, and all of those who were touched by his presence. Olani, the 15th all-time leading scorer in Stony Brook history, donning the E on the right shoulder today. A 98-game career with Stony Brook over 3+ seasons.
It's so incredibly sad, Johnny. He brought so many incredible moments and memories here for the Stony Brook fans and faithful, and he will certainly be missed. Tremendous young man, tremendous player. Elijah Olani, he gone way too soon.
The 2018 America East Player of the Year, 2019 third-team All-America East, and in 2020 topped it off with a first-team accolade. There's some very talented Stony Brook teams. We were just talking about this the other day off the air, and we feel like we've had many chapters of Stony Brook basketball. He was one of those early chapters and probably the main author.
Oh, he certainly was, and that was a terrific Stony Brook team that was looking to make a long run in the playoffs. Unfortunately, the season when they made the move from the America East to the CAA, Stony Brook was ruled ineligible for postseason play in America East, and that kind of really put a damper on what could have been another special season here for Stony Brook.
Sabri Phillip makes it 1 out of 2 Lead goes back to 9 for Stony Brook. First point of the night for Sabre. Grinding away, Aaron Curran. It's a late foul call on the near side by Mike Nardone. So first free throws of the contest coming up for the Pride. Told you Aaron Curran, their leading scorer so far. He has 8 out of the 15. A 73% free throw shooter. But entering the season, Pav, over the last 6 years, only one team in the country had a better free throw rate than the Hofstra Pride. You want to guess?
I don't have that one.
It's the Villanova Wildcats.
Well, there you go.
So the Pride at around 77% over the last 6 years. And again, most of these good nuggets coming courtesy of Stephen Korchov. Longtime SID for the Hofstra Pride, who supplies you with all the knowledge you need and all the knowledge you don't need.
The job he does with the game notes is just incredible. And no coincidence, Speedy Claxton played for the former Villanova coach Jay Wright, so I'm sure he picked his brain on a little bit.
Quinn Gorman cans the triple. First touches for the freshman, 5th three-pointer of the season.
And Gorman's been playing more and more as the season has progressed and has been very, very effective on both ends of the floor. Plotnikov answers on the other end for Hofstra.
Just the second made three of the first half for Speedy Claxton's group, 2 for 15. Stony Brook, meanwhile, 50% from distance at 5 for 10. So not a very long-lived largest lead of the game for Stony Brook. Snody kicks out for Gorman. Shot clock down to 10. Snody, who had 27 and 12 against Hofstra, gave it away to Plotnikov.
Yeah, lost his balance a little bit there to Snody. Good defense by Aaron Gurin.
Stop and go. Detour to the free throw line for Gene Aaron Gurin. He has supplied 9 of the 19 for the Hofstra Pride. Again, offense certainly hard to come by for some of this conference season for both Stony Brook and Hofstra. They begin this final weekend of the regular season, the bottom 2 teams in scoring offense. And right now an 8-point cushion for Stony Brook. Just the 3rd and 4th free throws of the first half for Hofstra.
And this is a Hofstra team that has built their success on offense, Johnny. This is a high-scoring team with 3 consecutive CAA Players of the Year, where they put up a lot of points. They are much more defensive-oriented. You mentioned they're 13th and 14th, these 2 teams in offense, but this is a Hofstra team that is 3rd in CAA in defense. So they've made up for it a little bit. Much more reliant on the defensive end this year under Speedy Claxton.
It should be the 7th team foul on Hofstra. So 1-1 coming up for the freshman Colin O'Connor. Stick with us at halftime. We'll have Cassandra Basile, the director of PR and marketing for the Ronald McDonald House Charities. We'll get to our Stony Brook Media Group report, some first half stats and highlights, and our Coachman's Player. That's a busy halftime there, Pat.
A lot of stuff going on at halftime.
Pav, meanwhile, gets to go to the back, eat some food, put his feet up.
Sure. Check out the highlights, do all the work so you look good.
Yeah. Back to an 8-point cushion for Stony Brook. You leaning in any particular direction for our Coachman's Player of the Half?
Well, it's pretty easy right now. I think C.J. Luster has been outstanding here in the first half for Stony Brook, as well as Gene Aaron Gurin. So let's see how the last 2 minutes of the half play out, but those 2 are my favorites.
Aaron Gurin onto the 10. Rotation to the head of the key. Solved though by Stony Brook. Andre Snody there to close out. This is Keyshawn Robinson. First touches tonight. The lefty. Angles and hits. 12-footer in the first shot of the game for Keyshawn Robinson. And Hofstra could use points from whoever wants to score them.
Yeah, some contributions off the bench right there for Speedy.
Another returner from last year. A rare one at that for Hofstra. O'Connor keeps his dribble. No look feed. Luster delivers. Foot on the line for C.J. Luster. Just the climactic 2.
Did you see the closeouts by Hofstra? 2 flying Flying Dutchman, as they used to be called, the Hofstra Pride. They ran at C.J. Luster, a great use of the pump fake, and knocked down 2 ball.
Plotnikov salvages the possession. Here is Sunday, the 7-footer, nicely done. A deft touch from the Irishman. And about a 30-second difference between game and shot clock. Stony Brook's lead all of a sudden down to 2 possessions.
That's a really smooth move along the baseline there by Sunday. A nice touch and a turnover by O'Connor. That'll give the basketball back to Hofstra. Let's take another look at that jump shot. Great ball movement by Stony Brook. And look at these flying Hofstra players, and Luster knocks it down calmly.
Well, if nothing else, the defenders did force a 3-pointer to become a 2. So off the 5th Stony Brook turnover here in the first half, Pride have a chance to make it a 1-possession game. But they're 2 of 15 from 3. Shot clock down to 10. Robinson wiggles in. He will not get the roll into the hands of Sherman Plotnikov, who has a knack for being in the right place at the right time. 4-point game.
Stony Brook needs to hold here for one. They're going to call a quick timeout. Gino Ford going to set something up on a whiteboard. I assume they're going to try and find C.J. Luster coming off a couple of screens for a knockdown 3 ball.
So Luster with 13 out of the 31 for Stony Brook. Gene Aron-Gurin with 10 out of the 26 for Hofstra. I already told you Aron-Gurin 13 times this season has led the Pride in scoring. It's a team high. And Hofstra has found a good time to go 4 of 5 from the field.
Yeah, Hofstra on a 10-4 run right now.
A reminder, tickets to the 2025 Jersey Mike's Coastal Men's Basketball Championship on sale now at CAAsports.com/MBB. March 7th to the 11th, down to the nation's capital. Obviously, seed still to be determined. If the season ended today, it'd be these 2 teams in round 1.
And I incorrectly said 13-14 would be the 11-12 game with these 2 teams would be playing. But like you mentioned, there's a lot of basketball still left to be played here in the CAA, and it is wide open. I mean, in prior years, you thought Charleston or Wilmington would win it, but now it could be just about anybody.
Luster at the buzzer. Lots of contact. CJ looking up at Mike Nardone, and he will not get the call he was looking for. So Stony Brook, they're led by as many as 11. Gino Ford pretty animated as well. We'll take a 4-point lead to the break.
Gino Ford is hot. So is Luster. Thought he got hit on that shot attempt. No call by the officials, but a really good first half on both ends of the floor for Stony Brook. Exactly the way you wanted to draw it up. Good defense, efficient on the offensive end.
So we'll get halftime started. When we return, we'll have Cassandra Basile from the Ronald McDonald Charity House. Stony Brook basketball, presented by Stony Brook Medicine here on SNY. Stony Brook takes the 4-point lead to the halftime break against their cross-county rivals, the Hofstra Pride. 31-27 is your score. And we're joined by Cassandra Basili, the Director of PR and Marketing with the Ronald McDonald House Charities. Thanks for giving us some time here at halftime.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
So to get things rolling here, before we ask you kind of how families could be aided by your cause, what are some of the origins of the Ronald McDonald House Charities?
Yes, of course. So Ronald McDonald House Charities was founded 50 years ago this year. 50 years ago, football players from the Philadelphia Eagles actually joined forces with McDonald's owner-operators to help families local to Philadelphia who are in need of overnight accommodations for their sick children. And today it's grown to over 300 Ronald McDonald houses across the globe.
All right, so now the important question, what the Ronald McDonald Houses do to kind of help families as we peer through some of the lovely pictures here.
Of course. So Ronald McDonald House Charities is a very special organization that provides not just overnight accommodations to families whose children are sick in the hospital, but they provide comfort, care, respite, all of the things that families need in order to stay strong for their sick children. When a child is sick in the hospital, we believe that the entire family is sick. So it's important to take care of all of their needs, from handing them a toothbrush when they walk in the door, to a warm cookie, clean bed sheets, a hot shower, anything they need for as long as they need.
Could you share a little bit more about the new Ronald McDonald House that's coming to Stony Brook?
Yes, of course. So we're super excited to share that the new Ronald McDonald House in Suffolk County is coming to Stony Brook Children's Hospital in 2027. We are breaking ground this year, and that house will be 30 bedrooms. It will provide overnight accommodations to families who have sick children in the hospital, and it will account for all of their needs. We'll have a pet therapy program, movie theater, playrooms, anything a family would need to be well and stay strong for their child.
Before we let you go, how can families learn a little bit more about what you guys do and try and get involved?
Of course. We are, as one of our board members says, we are not just fundraising, but we're friend-raising. We're looking for folks to get involved, to volunteer, to cook meals for our families, to host fundraisers. There's so many ways to get involved. If you're a Girl Scout, a student from Stony Brook University, if you're a volunteer, retired, etc., there's many ways to get involved.
Cassandra Basili of the Ronald McDonald House Charities, thank you so much for the time. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you so much.
We continue on at halftime. Stony Brook, a 4-point cushion over the Hofstra Pride. You're watching Stony Brook basketball presented by Stony Brook Medicine right here on SNY.
Tickets are on sale now for the 2025 Jersey Mike's CAA Men's Basketball Championship, which will be played March 7th to 11th at Care First Arena in Washington, D.C. Be a part of the excitement as 14 teams battle for a conference title and a berth in the NCAA tournament. Go to Ticketmaster.com or CAAsports.com/MBB to secure your seat today.
At Stony Brook Heart Institute, our cardiac specialists treat the most complex heart conditions, so Michael can keep enjoying the simple things. Our outcomes are among the best in the nation, so Mary can keep her competitive edge. We perform innovative treatments and procedures, so Jack can keep planning new surprises. Using our strength to help you regain yours, we are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
I think one of the things that makes it different to work here as a nurse or a nursing assistant is the teamwork that is out there amongst the staff.
We work together with one mission in common, and that's to take care of our veterans and their families.
If this is my small way of helping them back, my career as a nurse is rewarded.
The opportunities here for professional growth, our health insurance, salaries can't be compared in any other facility.
I've been here 11 years. I think it speaks for it, so.
Please consider working at the Long Island State Veterans Home because we do make a difference in people's lives each and every day.
In the classroom, in the field, on the water.
Stony Brook University is a place for daring. Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, daring to be something more in this world starts with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University. Dare to be.
From the studios at the School of Communication and Journalism, welcome to the Stony Brook Media Group's Halftime Report, brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I'm Brittany Dietz. In light of social media's impact on journalism, Executive Editor of CBS News Confirmed, Ronna Tarrant, hosted the 2025 Marie Colvin Distinguished Lecture on Wednesday at the Wong Theater. Stony Brook School of Communication and Journalism is home of the Marie Colvin Center for International Reporting, which prepares the next generation of foreign correspondents. This year, Tarrant's lecture focused on the importance of open source verification and outlined critical tools required for emerging journalists. This past weekend, our reporters Angela Panganiban and Robin Metz joined the Indian Graduate Student Association for their annual spring ball. Let's see how it went.
Hi, my name is Angela Panganiban, and I'm here at the Student Activity Center for the Indian Graduate Student Association Annual Spring Ball. The Indian Graduate Student Association Spring Ball is a formal event for members of the association to bond with peers, create new connections, and dance the night away. I got the chance to speak to a few event organizers to learn more.
So this is like event after the winter break, and like everyone like wants to like have like talk to their peers and everything, like form friends and like form new bonds. That's the purpose of the entire spring ball.
As the first event after winter break, new and old faces were welcomed with choreographed performances, random couple dances, and delicious food.
This particular event is happening as the first event of the semester, and everyone is coming back from home, so they are just getting into the semester. And parallelly, this particular semester we don't have very much of Indian festival to celebrate, so that's why we have brought something new and to gel up with students and just to mingle and hang out with their batchmates and everything.
Students were able to have a break from their studies and have a little fun as friends and couples danced to traditional music, took photos in the photo booths, and networked with peers.
It was really a good opportunity to get a bit of change from the academics and also engage with other people around, make new friends, which is why we decided to be here.
The ball was a lively and engaging night that ended with dessert and more performances. Thank you to the Indian Graduate Student Association for an exciting night.
The Stony Brook community has recently lost one of our very own Seawolves. Elijah Olaniyi, a former Stony Brook men's basketball player, lost his 15-month battle with brain cancer. He was 26. We pay tribute to Elijah Olaniyi and send our condolences and respect to his family during this difficult time. That's it for us in the studio. We'll send you back to Stony Brook Arena for first half stats and analysis right after this. Stay with us.
Stony Brook 31, Hofstra 27. We'll resume the action here at halftime on Stony Brook North Shore. He's Rob Pavanelli. I'm Johnny Wincott. 37th all-time meeting between the two Long Island rivals. We peer through some of the stats for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, what jumps out right there, we talked about Stony Brook has to keep the guards out of the paint. They have 14 points in paint, does Hofstra. They're also doing a great job in the glass, crashing the offensive glass. What has really done it for Stony Brook on the offensive end, they're doing a nice job sharing the basketball, shooting outstanding from beyond the arc, 5 for 11. They have 5 3-pointers, and C.J. Luster has 3 of them. He's been terrific in the first half.
As always, our stats presented by Block Chiropractic Physical Therapy.
Josh Decady with the big dunk there for Hofstra, knocked down 3 ball by Colin O'Connor. A Hofstra guard, Gene Arenguren, has played outstanding. He's got 11 for Hofstra in the first half. Some good defense by the Seawolves all first half. German Plotnikov with the friendly bounce here at Stony Brook Arena. And there's that man again, C.J. Luster. A game-high 13 points in the first half.
Our Coachman's player of the half, C.J. Luster. You just noted 13 points, 5 of 8 from the field. He hit his first 3 3-pointers. Boy, Stony Brook's leading scorer has been shouldering the load in the second-to-last game of the regular season. We step aside one final time. We return to the start of half number 2. Stony Brook and Hofstra as we close out the Coastal's regular season this weekend. Stony Brook basketball presented by Stony Brook Medicine. Try to get you set here for half number 2 at Stony Brook. Some funky happenings inside Stony Brook Arena. We promise you the score 31-27. And with the lights shining brightly here on the North Shore, it's the 37th all-time meeting in this battle for Long Island. Hofstra, oh boy, that would be a large lead at 125-31. He's Rob Pavanelli, I'm Johnny Wincott, and we promise when they figure things out across the way, we will start half number 2.
Looks a little bit like a rock concert rather than a basketball game with all the flashing lights, but it was certainly a very entertaining first half. Physical, both teams really getting after it.
Well, I told you, 37th all-time meeting. It is a rivalry based on location, 37 miles from campus to campus, but this series has been dominated by Hofstra historically. Stony Brook a chance to win 3 consecutive in the series. That does not happen very often.
Does not happen often, and they've been close. 5 straight games have been decided by 6 points or less. You mentioned campuses 37 miles apart. Sometimes that could be 3 hours and 25 minutes apart as well on Long Island on a Friday afternoon or Thursday afternoon.
So Brian O'Connell has just come over to the broadcast setup. Hey, Wolfie. It is actually a 31-26 score at the moment. They have taken a point away from Hofstra because they're on the road.
And they're keeping it at 27. If they score a basket, they're just going to make it 28 two opportunities missed by Hofstra. That's going to be an offensive foul there on Hofstra.
A funky first 15 seconds here in the second half, and even before that. What we do know, Stony Brook does lead. A chance to beat Hofstra for the second time this month. Looking for their 3rd coastal win of this season. They're in last place right now in the conference, but doesn't look like it with plays like that. Ben White off the facilitation from the freshman Colin O'Connor.
What a beautiful set piece right there, designed by Gino Ford. The little back screen and the finish inside. Big bucket for the Seawolves, and that was as good as you can get coming out of halftime or at a timeout. Executed to perfection.
A little bit more of a palpable buzz here in the second half at Stony Brook Arena. Early foul call, it's going on CJ Luster, just 47 seconds into the second half. Free throws did not factor much into that first half. Stony Brook 4 for 6, Hofstra 2 for 4. You know, to the last time they met over at the MAC in Nassau County, 27 free throw makes for Stony Brook on 36 takes. And that is the first basket for Cruz Davis.
Yeah, that's not something Gino Ford and Stony Brook wants to see happen, an easy bucket. You don't want to get him going. He's capable of scoring quickly in bunches and really get hot.
So Hofstra's leading scorer missed his first 4 from the field after matching a career best 28 against Delaware. Woodard just gets the front side of the net. And the Pride here, an opportunity to make it a one-possession game for the first time in a long time. Aaron Gurin inside out, Plotnikov fakes the 3 and drew the contact from Nick Woodard. So 2 early fouls here on Stony Brook. Something to keep an eye on for a team that does not commit many fouls. And a Hofstra team, Pat, that is nearly last in the conference in getting to the free throw line.
And they're not very deep, Stony Brook. We mentioned the injuries to Fry and Octave. Sabri Phillip a little banged up.
Cruz Davis still not finding the shooting stroke. Here in Suffolk County, he has started 1 of 6. $80-75 the final. Back 3 weeks ago at Hofstra. Stony Brook's only other conference win, way back on January the 25th here against North Carolina A&T. Ben White met at the rim, looking for bully ball, canceled out by Sunday.
Great defense there by Sunday, held his ground straight up. I'd like to see White step out and take that 15-foot jumper. He made one of those in the first half. No need to take it to the big fella. He's going to lose that battle.
Well, the three-point line has been a losing battle so far for Speedy Claxton's club. That was their 15th three-point miss on their 17th attempt coming from Plotnikov.
2 for 17 from beyond the arc is Hofstra. Something, and we just talked about it. They had 13 three-pointers in that victory against Delaware last time out.
Snody gets it down. Had to wiggle in between Plotnikov and Sunday. 2 very differently sized players. All right, 2 more for Andre Snody, who has 7 rebounds today, the 4th leading boarder in the conference.
Another well-executed play, a little bit of a flex cut there, finding Snody down low, and he's so tough to stop when he gets it there.
Great distribution from Gene Aaron Gurin. And one of the easier 2s of the season from Silas Sunday. 7-footer has kind of bent down to put that in.
And Aaron Gurin and Davis are 2 and 3 in assists in the CAA. And that was a beautiful dish there by Aaron Gurin.
13 for CJ. That is a high degree of difficulty too. Does not get the foul call. Home run feed is on target for German Plotnikov. And it's back to a 3-point game.
Yeah, we talked about it. Hofstra wanted to get some transition baskets. They've got a couple here in the second half. They only had 2 fast break points in the first half. Stony Brook did a really nice job slowing the tempo down, getting back on defense, making Hofstra earn every bucket.
Woodard leaning, getting rejected. Pops out to Andre Snody. Wide open Luster, cans it. That's a bad bounce for the Pride defense to the wide open hands of CJ Luster, who will not miss many of those.
And that's where teams get so many open looks off a broken play and a kick out to a wide open CJ Luster. Silas Sunday's done a great job defensively. Ben White's going to have to keep him honest on the offensive end. He's just doubling and rotating everywhere, blocking shots.
Well, how about Cruz Davis? Hard to believe that's only points 3 and 4. Went to work on the freshman O'Connor, and tip of the cap to O'Connor, who has done a good job on Davis.
Very good job. We talked about Davis's ability to get downhill and to finish in traffic and with some body, and that time certainly was on display.
Snody off the high screen from White, had it stripped. Davis emerges, 2-on-1, he finds Farmer, rejection! goaltending on Stony. It will be 2 for the Pride. And it's the right call from Brian O'Connell. 15:26 remaining, second half. Stony Brook's lead down to 2. You're watching Stony Brook basketball presented by Stony Brook Medicine here on SNY. Oh, we're down to a one-score game. Stony Brook 38, Hofstra 36. 4+ minutes into the second half. Battle for Long Island Part 2. Two really good former players at the helm for each of these teams. Gino Ford for Stony Brook, the former Hofstra great Speedy Claxton. Oh, the good old days. 1996 to 2000, his number 10 retired. Gino Ford, who scored more points in Ohio than most other players ever. And Speedy, of course, does have an NBA title on his mantle, something that Gino Ford does not.
Gino Ford would not lose often in a one-on-one matchup with coaches. He may lose that one against Speedy Claxton, one of the best ever to do it here on Long Island. And Hofstra played at Christ the King, and as you mentioned, a long NBA career and an NBA championship. Great to see Gino with some hair, and Speedy with some baggy shorts back in the day. And that handsome guy you saw in there was Jay Wright. Won a couple of national championships at Villanova.
Timer down to 8. This is Sabri Phillip off for the freshman O'Connor. Gaining speed down the left alley, high off the glass, no go. Out of bounds, there would have been one on the timer, and they will give it to the Pride. Hofstra has hit 4 out of their last 4 field goals, and Stony Brook in a bit of a rut here to start half number 2.
And again, give credit there to Silas Sunday, altering that shot. He's roaming that paint. He's not guarding anybody, just sitting there in the 3-second area trying to block some shots and make shots difficult for Stony Brook in the paint.
Davis. Sunday has been calling for it. Instead, it's worked to the left block. Ball on the deck, so is Sabri Phillip. And I think it's a kicked ball on Stony Brook. That'll get the shot clock back to 20 for Speedy Claxton's group. Take another look at it.
Good defense there by C.J. Luster to knock it away. I don't see how we had. Yep, you can see right there. Phillip kicked the basketball before the jump ball. Great hustle there by Aaron Gurn. Appeared that he had lost the basketball, and then he got it back with some good hustle, but that's a bad sign. Phillip been hobbled all week, and he heads to the bench limping a little bit.
All right, so been a tough few years for Sabri Phillip, who has undergone multiple surgeries on the lower body and has really proven to be a critical player for Stony Brook this year. Nobody found Davis. And he cruises in for two. We're tied at 38.
And that's really bad defense there by Stony Brook. Davis with one little hesitation fake, and he went right to the basket. Hofstra on a 10-3 run, and they've tied up this basketball game.
Seawolves looking for the response. The freshman does not answer. Good box out by Hofstra's German. Plotnikov opened up the space for Aaron Curran. 6 minutes gone by here in half number 2, where Hofstra leads 12-7 in the midst of a 10-3 run. Aaron Curran grinding away, gets it down over the freshman. And the entire Pride bench rises to their feet. Hofstra has the lead.
That's so tough to stop. Aaron Curran's so physically strong, athletic. He's got a great touch inside. Stony Brook, Hofstra is 6 for 6 on their last 6 attempts. Meanwhile, Stony Brook over 2.5 minutes without a bucket, without a point.
So the foul is on Silas Sunday. That's his second. Always keep an eye on the big fella foul. Sunday has 2. Michael Graham has 3. Shot clock resets to 20 for SBU. Deflected pass. Pride emerge on turnover number 8. 3-on-1, corner 3. Plotnikov barely gets the rim. Rebound secured by Davis. So another new 20 for Speedy Claxton's group, the former NBA point guard, calling the shots from across the way.
That is the 10th offensive rebound for Hofstra in the contest.
Davis gets the motor moving. Timer down to 5. Stifled by Luster. Now Stony Brook the other way. Luster, deep triple. Ping pong basketball. Another great feed. Davis goes down and salvages. They'll catch their breath while they have a chance.
I think that was Farmer who went down.
Rejection under the tin. Big Ben got big. Still 12 on the timer. Farmer from distance. And Andre Snowdy brings in his 8th rebound.
And Stony Brook really needs to settle it down right now. Hofstra pushing the pace. Made some good halftime adjustments. They're really getting out in transition. Stony Brook needs a nice set right here and a good bucket.
Well, the Seawolves won't get it. The scoring drought will be 4+ minutes for Gino Ford's group. They're now trailed by a bucket against the Hofstra Pride. They beat them 80-75 3 weeks ago, Cross County and Nassau County.
And we've seen it, unfortunately, all season long for Gino Ford's crew. They play a great first half. They start off well in the second half, and they just don't run out of gas offensively in the second half. Just not enough options. They rely so heavily on C.J. Luster and Andre Snowdy, especially now without Fry and Octave in the lineup. They're going to need to find some people to score the basketball. Could certainly use some contributions from O'Connor and White right now.
So off the 7th turnover by Hofstra, Stony Brook gets it to the paint. Snowdy kick out. Gorman one more to the corner. O'Connor. Shot clock at 7. Threads the needle for White. Misses from close quarters, but cleans up the garbage. The scoring drought ends at 4.5 minutes. We are tied again, 40-40.
Nice delivery there by O'Connor on the bounce pass. White blew the assist, but it was able to put it back and finish.
Second tie of the contest. Silas Sunday trying to show some range. Plotnikov can't secure it. Bodies on the deck. It is a Long Island scrum with 6 players. And Andre Snowdy a little worse for wear. It'll be Seawolves basketball when we return. Well, not much separating these two teams. Hofstra 40, Stony Brook 40. When we come back, 10:59 remaining. You're watching Stony Brook basketball presented by Stony Brook Medicine here on SNY.
At Stony Brook Children's Hospital, we are the only children's hospital in Suffolk County. So Jenna is ready for adventures. We are Long Island's highest level trauma center staffed with pediatric specialists at the ready, so Joey can get a best time. Our NICU is focused on nurturing the growth of premature infants, so Madison cruises to her milestones. Working together to keep your children strong, we are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
Glad we got Jersey Mike's for the game.
Wait, does our mascot look like Danny DeVito to you?
Yeah, it does. That doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's, where the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what they're all about.
You on the cheer squad?
And upsy daisy. Yeah!
Ooh.
Oh, don't worry about me. Focus on those subs. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
At Stony Brook Cancer Center, we don't just conduct clinical trials. We create them, all so Callie can keep trying new things. We are a multidisciplinary team, caring for you from every angle, so Jim can find just the right one. We develop highly individualized, leading-edge cancer treatments, so Sarah can follow her passions, using our strengths to help you regain yours. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
Oh, where else would you rather be on a Thursday night on Long Island? 10:59 remaining. 2 games to go in the regular season. Hofstra 40, Stony Brook 40. The Pride have not had a football program in a long time. This is about as close as you'll get to a Stony Brook Hofstra football game.
Gorman just got in there late. 6 bodies in there. Hopefully Snody's okay as he's rolling around in pain. But, you know, this is what it means to play for the Battle of Long Island right now. Both of these teams really getting after it. We've had a terrific game so far. Tied with about 11 minutes left to go. Andre Snody back on the court, hobbling a little bit.
No, you can't miss Andre Snody, the team's leading boarder yet again, 5th most in the conference. 7 double-doubles. 4 of them have come in the last 6 games. I told you about what he did at Hofstra, averaging 16 and 10 in the month of February.
Playing his absolute best basketball in his Stony Brook career.
So now it's the Pride that have hit a scoring drought of 3 minutes. Stony Brook just had one span 4.5 minutes. O'Connor inside out for Nahar. He'll reset just by Wolfie. Takes on Plotnikov. Gets by him. Feed down low. Corman can't finish. Down goes Snody. Second consecutive sequence, which has seen a giant fall for Andre.
Let's hope he's okay. He went down really, really hard. Let's take another look at it. Gorman misses the dunk, and Snody a little bit off balance. I mean, landed on his back pretty hard. I don't know how hard he landed on his head. Yeah, that head snapped back, and he seems to be in a lot of pain. Obvious concern there by the staff and Gino Ford.
There is Dr. Cherney. Always bittersweet when you're seeing Dr. Cherney. So Andre Snody, who plays in his 64th game with Stony Brook, came by way of Central Connecticut, has been one of the key cogs, especially late in this season. You'll see him fall here. He does get a shoe on the ground briefly before hitting down to the hardwood, but that is a up high and down hard type of fall for number 21.
He's going to try and get up here on his feet. Obviously don't want to go too fast.
Mike Fleury just came over to the broadcast setup to confirm just a common foul. It'll be the 3rd of the half on Hofstra. Most importantly, Andre is to his feet.
He seems to be holding it. He was holding his head early on. Now he's holding that right hip. We saw he landed really, really hard on his lower body, and then his head snapped back a little bit. Let's hope the young man is okay. What a big blow that would be for Stony Brook without their leader.
Boy, Gino Ford told us even before the regular season started, just based on the roster setup and what we're going to be asking of Andre, he's probably the most vital piece to our puzzle this season. And boy, he has really excelled over the last few weeks. So Stony Brook now, without one of their top players, 10.5 minutes remaining, still deadlocked at 40.
You know, they've asked for everything out of Andre Snody. He's become a much better offensive player as the season has progressed. A big bucket there by Colin O'Connor gives Stony Brook a 3-point lead. But getting back to Snody, he's defended. He obviously a tremendous rebounder. The offense has really come to fruition here late in the season.
So the step back triple by the freshman O'Connor has given the lead back to Stony Brook. And how about the freshman Gorman with the rebound?
And Stony Brook went to that 1-3-1 zone that was so effective in the first meeting in the first half between these two teams.
O'Connor and Luster on the handoff. They've combined for 28 of the 43. Open lane, CJ changes hands, can't finish. Blast off of Leon Nahar. He goes with the pride.
Nice move there by Luster. Switches hands at the last second. Just couldn't get enough English on it to finish. And let's see if Stony Brook continues in the zone. And they do. Look for Hofstra to continuously get the basketball right around the foul line area. They didn't make a lot of them in the first meeting between these two teams, but that's where it's open against Stony Brook.
Pride have missed 6 consecutive shots until now. Cruz Davis cans it in the corner. The scoring drought ends at 4 minutes and 15 seconds. We are tied for the third time, 43 and 43.
Really good ball movement there by Hofstra. Reverses it all the way around. And Cruz Davis comes from the other side and knocks down the 3-ball in the corner.
Luster has the response. Cans, jumpers, Luster.
The middle of the zone and the corners are what are vulnerable against this 1-3-1 zone of Stony Brook. They have to do a better job getting out to that corner. Good job by Luster contesting on Davis.
Plotnikov drives left alley. And drew the foul en route, only the third team foul on Stony Brook. 8:52 showing on the second half scoreboard. A well-deserved round of applause for Andre Snody, who only has one more regular season home game scheduled here at Stony Brook Arena. He's going to try and make the most of his time.
Let's see if Stony Brook goes back to the man-to-man now that Snody is back in the lineup.
Davis, not again from the corner. Stays at a 3-point cushion for Stony Brook. Snow to the corner, wide open. Nahar can't stick it.
Snody trying to get that rebound. He's fine.
Nahar, by the way, perfect 3 of 3 from distance the last time out. Tough 2 by Davis. Rebound coming our way. Davis was last to touch. Stony Brook takes over. Pav, you all right?
I'm fine. Okay. I had you covered just in case. I saw you covering up as Davis was heading towards you.
A little bit. 2 for flinching. Rob Papinelli, my knight in shining armor. That is us at the bottom of your screen, just below your scoreboard. How you doing?
Jeff Bernstein, statistician extraordinaire to your left.
Approaching the 8-minute marker here at Stony Brook Arena. Ball overhead for Woodard. This is O'Connor. Shot clock whittles down to 5. O'Connor between the legs. Gets moving. Tough fadeaway. 2. O'Connor sticks it. Oh, it is Colin on the spot. Points 13 and 14. And now 33 of the 48, or rather, 33 of the 48. Provided by either Luster or O'Connor.
2 huge buckets there by O'Connor. The 3-ball in the corner, and that time the tough fade on the baseline.
The chant is defense. Double for Davis. Timer to 7. Plotnikov loses. Scooped up by Aaron Curran. 3 seconds to work with. Plotnikov cans the triple. 29 seconds of chaos. Salvaged by the Belarusian.
Big bucket there by Plotnikov, the answer for the Pride.
.7 rebounds for German Plotnikov. Stop and go Luster. It was tapped by Ben White. And they're going to get the big fella for basket interference.
I thought it was going to go in, Johnny. I thought that basket by Luster was going in. White tried to put it back in. That's going to be offensive goaltending. Good call by the officials. Let's take a look at it. Nope, that was definitely coming off. Wow. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see it on the rim right there in the replay, Johnny.
Well, sorted out during the timeout. 7 minutes remaining. Stony Brook with a narrow 2-point lead. You're watching Stony Brook basketball, presented by Stony Brook Medicine. Back and forth we go. The second to last game of the Coastal's regular season and the 37th edition of the Battle for Long Island. Stony Brook leading Hofstra by 2. If the season ended today and the Coastal Tournament, which is down in DC, started today, it'd be these two teams again.
So I messed up all of the numbers. I had the 13-14, I had the 11-12. It's the 11-14. Hofstra would be the 11th seed. Stony Brook would be the 14. But as you mentioned, a lot of games left to be played.
And of course, Towson had the 12-game win streak. That came to an end last week. How about Hampton has climbed back to 500 in the Coastal with a 5-game win streak?
Playing very well. Dismantled Stony Brook the other day.
All teams in action today, all 7 p.m. tip-offs. Inside out, corner 3. Oh, the Pride needed it. And Khalil Farmer provides.
The sophomore out of Philadelphia, Roman Catholic High School, legendary Philly high school basketball.
They were just 2 of their last 10 before the three-point make. It's their 5th three-pointer of the game on 24 tries. Stagnant offense here for Chino Ford's group.
And here is where Stony Brook has struggled all year long, getting baskets down the stretch.
O'Connor with a timer. Not sure if he recognized. The 6-0 run continues for Speedy Claxton's group. So the Pride with a narrow 49-48 advantage. Got to go back to when it was 6-2 the last time the Pride had the lead.
They're really getting it done here in the second half with the defense, which they've hung their hat all season long defensively.
Aaron Curran right down the seam. He meets Andre Snody. Aaron Curran can't get the roll. Offensive rebound supplied by Graham. Everybody gets a touch. Davis right down the alley. Cruz cans it. And a 3-point cushion for Hofstra.
Beautiful use of the ball fake, Johnny, up top. On a reversal, it looked like Cruz Davis was going to reverse the basketball. Great ball fake. Took it right to the rack and finished.
Timeout, Chino Ford. We will take it with him. It's an 8-0 blitz by Hofstra. 51-48, the Pride over the Seawolves. You're watching Stony Brook basketball, presented by Stony Brook Medicine.
Every patient has a story of strength and courage. We're inspired by these stories every day. Our award-winning team is not just treating cancer, we're nurturing dreams, supporting families, and building futures. New York Cancer and Blood Specialists has been recognized as #1 for most top doctors in cancer care by Castle Connolly. With locations across New York, exceptional care is always within reach, ensuring you don't have to travel far to receive the best. New York Cancer and Blood Specialists, conquering cancer close to home.
News 12 Long Island is here with you.
We're with you weekdays at 5 a.m.
Getting you ready to start your day. Dangerous conditions out there. Leave extra time and check back for updates.
The results of our investigation, a new privacy protection bill.
Every night at 10, we update you with the top stories.
And get you ready for the day ahead. Here with you live from Ronkonkoma.
At H2M, we play to win. Architecture, engineering, sustainability. We compete to be the best there is. We believe in teamwork. Working together, building together, winning together.
Five minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the second to last regular season game. Hofstra 51, Stony Brook 48 in the 37th edition of the Battle for Long Island. All 14 coastal teams are in action. That includes first place Towson at 14-2. They've already guaranteed themselves a share of the Coastal. They've got an 8-point lead against William & Mary.
Yeah, I mean, some close games everywhere. I think that's actually 63-47 for Campbell. Campbell looked really good mid-season, struggling a little bit down the stretch. Stony Brook takes on Elon on Saturday right here at Stony Brook Arena, last regular season game for the Seawolves.
We told you the Pride were picked to finish 4th in the preseason polls, the 14-team conference. They will not finish 4th. The 3 teams picked to finish ahead of them, well, those are the top 3 teams.
Well, the coaches know. The coaches usually know the talent, know the transfers, knows who's coming in, who's coming back. This is a Stony Brook team absolutely decimated by graduation.
White amongst the bigger bodies down low at Snowdy. Timer at 3. Andre cannot get through cleanly. 2 seconds on the timer. Stony Brook retains underneath the left basket.
After a shot clock violation, last possession, Stony Brook has 2 seconds to get a shot off here along the baseline. Might have to be a lob or a kick out to Gorman.
O'Connor triggers, 3-pointer. Ben White sticks it. Stony Brook Center ties the game 51-51. He is a perfect 2 for 2 from distance this year.
Hit one against Northeastern and one tonight, but the answer on the other side by Gene Aaron Gurin gives Hofstra the 3-point lead once again.
Well, the Pride really struggled from distance in the first half. They have made up for it here in half number 2. 5 for 10. Air ball from Luster.
Not a good shot there by Luster. Tried to draw the NBA contact. No call by the officials. Hofstra looking to build on a lead.
Pride have hit 4 out of their last 5 field goal attempts. Davis left alone. Cruz can't hit the 3. That's the 11th rebound for Andre Snowdy. Well, he's only 2 of 8 from the field, or else he'd have his 8th double-double.
Real good look there by Cruz Davis. He's 1 for 6 from beyond the arc tonight.
Half the shot clock gone by on CJ Luster and company. Step back triple, rattles in and out. Gorman the rebound. Gorman can't put it home. Aaron Curran emerges against the Crane. 1-on-2. Gene goes the distance. Plenty of contact in the process. Number 7 settles for 2. Hofstra has their largest lead of the game.
What a finish there by Aaron Gurin on 2 Stony Brook defenders. Certainly looked like there was a lot of contact there as well.
13-3 blitz right now by Speedy Claxton's group. It's a 5-point cushion. Luster on the move, kicks to the corner. Gorman, the lefty, left it short. Snowdy the tip. Off the side of the backboard, he has his 12th rebound. New 20 for SBU. Luster steps in, that's a 2. No good. Gorman does it again. He is quinning underneath the basket. 2 free throws when we return, and 2 big ones for Stony Brook, trailing by 5. You're watching Stony Brook basketball, presented by Stony Brook Medicine. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Battle for Long Island Part 2. The Hofstra Pride have taken their largest lead of the game at 56-51. Free throws coming up for Stony Brook in the form of their freshman Quinn Gorman. We revisit our patch points presented by Jersey Mike's, which we touched on with about 18 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, Stony Brook did a really good job taking care of the basketball, and they have gotten Luster some open looks in the first. And Stony Brook, Hofstra has really kept Stony Brook off the free throw line. Neither team has really gone to the line. The transition offense has been the difference here in the second half. Hofstra really pushing the pace, getting open looks for layups and open threes. I think that has been the difference for Hofstra in the second half. They've gotten a bunch of points in the paint. They have outscored Stony Brook 32-6 in the paint, whether it be post-up, putbacks, or drives to the basket by the guards.
One out of two for Quinn Gorman. Those were just his third and fourth free throw attempts of his collegiate career.
After 37 free throws in the last matchup between these two teams, Stony Brook has only taken 8 tonight. Meanwhile, Hofstra has only taken 4 attempts. The officiating crew really letting them play, and that's certainly not a good sign for Gino Ford's crew, because they really do a good job of getting to the charity stripe.
And those were the only 2 free throws of half number 2 for Stony Brook. Seawolves look to take advantage after the Aaron Gurin misfire. Down to 2.5 minutes, Ben White surveys his options. The first-year Seawolf wide open to another first-year Seawolf. 17 points for Colin O'Connor. It's his third triple, and it's back to a 1-point game.
And we talked about it all season long. Once he gains confidence in that stroke, gets in the gym, works every day as a sophomore, junior, he is going to be a complete point guard because he can defend. He's got a great high IQ and really knows how to share the basketball and lead the team.
Stony Brook had missed 5 consecutive shots before the O'Connor make. Fewer than 2 minutes remaining in regulation. High-low feed White. Sets it up for Luster. Drives left alley, high arcer, won't get the roll. Salvaged by the Pride, great play under the tin by Aaron Gurin.
Great move there by Luster, just couldn't get it to go down.
So the Pride in front of their head coach and former NBA champion Speedy Claxton will slow the pace. It's a hip-high right-handed dribble for their leading scorer, Cruz Davis. The chant from the Seawolves faithful is defense, and Andre Snody providing. Timer at 4, Davis, kick to the corner, 3-pointer, too strong. Rebound into the hands of Michael Graham. Biggest board of the night by one of the biggest players on the floor.
And that's what Graham does, so active on the glass. Stony Brook did a nice job boxing out. They just didn't come up with the basketball. 1 minute left to go. Big possession again defensively by Stony Brook.
Davis felt the contact from C.J. Luster. Luster felt like he stripped the basketball.
Luster's got to be careful. He may get a tee right here. Slammed the basketball down and then threw it to the side. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, maybe a little bit with the body. You see Luster slamming the ball down. Good restraint by this outstanding officiating crew to just let him play.
So it was on the floor, only 14 foul on Stony Brook. Same on Hofstra. 50 seconds to play in regulation.
How many defensive stands can you get? This will be the third time.
Lengthy possession. Davis against O'Connor. Davis left block, no good. Into the hands of Gorman. Stony Brook down by 1. Gino Ford wants to talk it over. 31 seconds to go in regulation. 22 on the timer. And a very important permanent marker and a clipboard coming out.
Oh, great timeout there. Reorganize. Stony Brook looked to push there a little bit, see if they could get something in transition. The numbers weren't there. Outstanding timeout. Let's set something up. Get a good look for C.J. Luster right here.
While we have a moment, we remind you that Giving Day is right around the corner. March 26th, Stony Brook University will be hosting their annual Giving Day. You can scan the QR code on your screen or go to givingday.stonybrook.edu. So either scan that QR code to give or go to givingday.stonybrook.edu. Meanwhile, Stony Brook and Hofstra giving us an instant classic here on a Thursday night on Long Island. Stony Brook will wrap up their regular season Saturday on national TV against Elon before shipping down to the capital for the CAA tournament.
Against a much improved Elon Phoenix. That's a good basketball team, and there's so much balance in the CAA this year. I mean, every coach we talk to, they tell us the same thing. Anybody can win it. We can lose to anybody. We can beat anybody. I mean, it's a little bit top-heavy with the top three that you mentioned, but they certainly can get knocked off in this playoffs.
Well, we noted Hofstra is also going to stay here on Long Island to wrap up their regular season, 2 p.m. on MSG or on Flow Sports when they take on NCAA. And in fact, Stony Brook probably hoping for Hofstra to win that game, a chance for Stony Brook to climb out of the basement of the CAA.
Absolutely. Thank you. Let's see what Gino Ford has drawn up here. Gorman in the lineup for Stony Brook and that outside threat. Draw the defense away, maybe open it up a little bit for a C.J. O'Connor drive. Should be Colin O'Connor drive. Combining Luster and O'Connor now.
Well, for good reason. They have 36 of the Stony Brook 55. Here we go. 8-second difference between game and shot clock. Ball in the hand of the freshman, who does have a game winner in the non-conference season. Luster. And a whistle here. Cruz Davis gets called for a foul. The 5th on Hofstra. Pride still have one more to give before Stony Brook's into the bonus.
And then there's a 1.6 second differential shot and game clock.
Interior feed White. Down low, Andre Snody. Tic-tac-toe. Stony Brook has the lead. Fouls to give for SBU. Still one more to give. 15 foul on Stony Brook as they have taken the lead 57-56. Already an instant classic here on Long Island.
Aaron Gurin went for the steal on White, lost Snody along the baseline.
Aaron Gurin with 6. Sheen down the scene. Rejected. He's axed by Andre. The ball game is not over. Stony Brook was fouled with a few seconds on the timer. And for some reason, the time ran out. Fans starting to come onto the court. Stony Brook will have a 1-point lead. And we'll head to an official review presented by Stony Brook Ophthalmology. There will still be time on the clock, still free throws forthcoming, possibly for Stony Brook.
Look at this defensive play here by Snody. Goes up, elevates, a little bit of contact with the body, gets a lot of basketball. Great defensive play by Andre Snody. We said Gino Ford asking a lot out of his senior, and he delivers once again with the biggest defensive play of the season for the Seawolves. And it looked like Stony Brook grabbed the ball and got fouled with about 2.6 seconds left to go. Snody will not head to the free throw line. He'll be taken out on the sidelines by the Seawolves. So they just got to inbound this basketball safely, take care of the basketball, and they're going to come away with a sweep on the Battle of Long Island.
Not only that, Pav, if they do indeed hang on, it'll be the first time with a 3-game win streak at the hands of their cross-county rivals. They have put 2.2 on the clock, and as Pav astutely noted, that is only the 6th team foul on Hofstra. Probably works to their disadvantage right now. Still need to foul Stony Brook one more time to get him to the free throw line.
At least a second is going to come off before they can get this foul on anybody on Stony Brook. Stony Brook wants to advance this basketball. You don't want to throw this backwards towards your own basket. Make it going forward, trying to get it into C.J. Luster's hands, the top free throw shooter in the conference. So it's along the baseline. I thought it was going to be on a sideline. Luster's going to trigger.
Stony Brook 2.2 seconds on their 3rd conference win of the season. Deep heave, up for grabs. Of course, Snody makes the catch. Well, it's deja vu, folks. The game is not over. As much as the Stony Brook faithful want it to be, Snody went up to make the catch. Little pass interference in the process.
What a terrific baseline out of bounds play, Johnny. I mean, that was just brilliant. Not what I expected. You throw Snody long. I mean, that's like just a big tight end going deep against a smaller defensive back. Throw it up there, let him run under. A terrific pass by C.J. Luster, and that was absolutely executed to perfection.
So here goes the last 3 plays for the Stony Brook Seawolves. Andre Snody dunk, Andre Snody block, Andre Snody catch.
And who do we highlight in the open?
Jared Fry.
Andre Snody, I mean, doing it all, and I've said it all season long. He is Stony Brook's Draymond Green, and you know he delivers game in and game out. What a performance by a senior from St. Anthony's High School, Melville, New York.
So twice already, the Stony Brook faithful hoping this one was over. We're still trying to wait and find out how much longer they may have to wait. But the party rolls on here in the North Shore for a crowd that has certainly come to life here in the second half.
After a difficult, I mean, it's been a long season for the Seawolves. They've lost a lot of games down the stretch, losers of 4 straight. This is certainly a feel-good win for Gino Ford and his crew. Got beat up a little bit down in Hampton on the road, and they came back and, you know, in the memory of Elijah Olanihi tonight, you know, certainly sparked some Seawolves. They came out and played with incredible intensity and passion, and if they could come away with this victory, it is a huge victory for the Seawolves and Gino Ford.
So again, this game is not over yet. Andre Snody has 1-1. Both coaches have timeouts here.
Hofstra's got 3 timeouts right now, so big free throws for Snody.
75% shooter on the season. Andre cans the first. He has 7 points, he has 13 rebounds, and he has played 38 out of a possible 40 minutes.
The only time he came out is when he went down hard on that offensive rebound. So to add to your list, Johnny, Snody with the dunk, Snody with the block, Snody with the catch, and Snody with the 2 clutch free throws to give Stony Brook a 3-point lead. Now let's see what Stony Brook does here. If they foul, they may not want to allow Hofstra to get off a 3. I remember a couple of years ago, Thomas hits the 3-pointer to beat Stony Brook from Hofstra.
Stony Brook still has an additional foul to give. Only 5 team fouls, so they could be aggressive. You just obviously don't want to foul in the act of shooting from beyond the line.
You want everything to go backwards. You don't want anything to beat you long. You want to keep the momentum of the offensive player going back towards their own basket, make them take some time off the clock before they attempt that shot, and you certainly can foul if you're in the right spot.
Well, Stony Brook picked an awfully good time for an 8-0 run. It's come over the last 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Hofstra has missed 5 consecutive field goals. And while we mentioned kind of a bit of an up-and-down year for Stony Brook, historically very good here on Long Island's North Shore, especially under Gino Ford, who is hoping he's a 2.5 away from home win number 52 in the Gino Ford era, and he'd do it with just 59 points.
And let's see how Stony Brook defends this. They are not going to guard the basketball, I don't believe.
Over the last 11 years, the Hofstra Pride are 62-1 when the opponent has fewer than 60 points. They've won 58 straight games in those scenarios.
And we're going to get another timeout here. That one is by Stony Brook to try to see what Hofstra was going to come out offensively, make some adjustments. Stony Brook did not look like they were going to put any pressure on the basketball, which I like. Get your safety back there, not allow anything to go long and deep. Only 1.5 seconds. You'll still get a dribble and a half here to get a shot off. So there is time for Hofstra to advance, get a dribble, and get that shot off.
I just want to give you that nugget one more time. That's 58 consecutive wins for Hofstra when their opponent has fewer than 60 points.
It's incredible. I mean, they've won a lot of games the last few years anyway. But I mean, and we talked about it in the open. You know, this was not going to be an 80-75 basketball game. This was going to be a grinded-out defensive affair, and it certainly has been. It's had some great highlights, some great moments. And we got 1.5 seconds left to go.
Here are your leading scorers, Davis and Luster. They got a second and a half. They need a 3. And Plotnikov calls timeout. Anticlimactic. And we'll do it all over again. Hey, if you don't use them, you lose them.
Plotnikov looked like Zach Wilson back there with nobody to find with the happy feet. He needed another timeout before he got sacked.
So again, a Pride team that just snapped a 6-game losing streak. Just 1 win in the month of February. Stony Brook also has just 1 win in the month of February. It came at Hofstra. They have just 2 wins in the Coastal. And over their last 17 games, Gino Ford's group is 2-15. You'd never know it tonight. The Battle of Long Island does bring out the best in you.
Brings out the best
in them, not
night.
you, but in them.
Oh, absolutely. Brings out the best in us, too. This has been a great game. And let's see what they do this time. Plotnikov is going to trigger once again. I would assume you're trying to find Cruz Davis here, Aaron Gurin, getting the basketball, get some momentum. There he is.
Plotnikov to midcourt. Davis not cleanly for the tie. No good. It's over. The Stony Brook Seawolves hang on. And they defeat their cross-county rivals, the Hofstra Pride, 59-56. They've won 3 consecutive against their CAA foe.
And for the first time in a long time, Stony Brook got some big buckets down the stretch. Obviously, the big dunk by Snody was the difference maker, but O'Connor hit some tough shots. Luster a little bit quiet in the second half, but what a performance by Gino Ford's club defensively. Really impressive. They really came out to play tonight, fired up. The defense was as good as we've seen all season long from the Seawolves.
59-56, your final. Another instant classic between Stony Brook and Hofstra. And there goes the 37th edition of the Battle for Long Island. We'll step aside when we come back. Stony Brook Associate Head Coach Dan Ricard after a 3-point victory. Stony Brook, Suffolk County over Hofstra, Nassau County. You're watching Stony Brook basketball presented by Stony Brook Medicine.